Welcome to episode 4 of the Millennial Gen Z Paradox podcast. My name's Abigail. I'm your millennial.
My name's Hannah. I am your Gen Z.
And today, we're doing something kind of different. We are taking a personality quiz.
Oh, you changed your shirt.
I did change my shirt because I didn't want to be a shirt repeater. You don't have to go change. Okay, stand by. Anna's going to go outfit change. We have to keep this in. It's hilarious. If she's not back by the time I finish the song, that means I win, right?
Oh, but
I've been walking around in this sweatshirt. So, as a listener has requested that we do the Meyers Briggs type indicator test.
Yes.
However, you have to pay for that, and we're poor. So,
which is so fucking weird.
We will take a similar personality test. So we'll do screen recordings of our phone and kind of like go through it question by question, not like give away what we're answering. Obviously, you'll be able to then like see it, but like chat about the questions as we do the test.
Yeah.
Without giving away our answers. No cheating.
Okay.
How do I screen record?
Oh my goodness. It's this button right there.
Okay. Did you start screen recording?
Yes, I started screen recording, and then you were all like, how do you do this?
Yeah, how do you do this? Okay, I'm going to skip straight to the chest.
Okay.
Here we go.
Remember, all the traits you're about to see will apply to everyone at some point in their life. For example, an indecisive person will become decisive if they're making a life or death decision, or even if their role at work forces them to be that way. The question is, what comes most naturally to you? What's your tendency? If no one were to force you deep down, how would you be? Important note, be sure to review all options on each slide before selecting one. On mobile, you might have to scroll down to see them.
All right. Okay. You love completing projects. It's better to be done than to find the 100% best solution. In a crisis, you're the commander, pushing the team to finish. For example, when researching something to buy online, you look at a few options and pick one that looks good enough so you can move on to the next task. You're good at scheduling, quantifying, and contingency planning. You're an event planner committee, and the group is arguing over which theme to go with. There might be some hurt feelings, but the best way to ensure a successful event is for you to assert your leadership and lay down a decision. I don't think I'm doing this right.
I'm confused.
Are you only doing the first box?
Yeah.
But
because
is the bottom box changing?
Yeah. Like all of them are changing. I don't really like this one.
I'm so confused. Back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they go in tangent. So like the first one is you love completing projects, right? And the next one is you love starting new projects. So whichever one You feel like, I think. And then neither choice. You're neutral to both. See, there's the one on the bottom. You're neutral. Neither choice is me. You're neutral to both. So you choose one that is like you, whether you love completing projects or you love starting new projects. And then if neither one of them is correct, then you hit the neither choice is me. Does it make sense?
Yeah, but that's just stupid.
Well, why? I think it makes sense now.
Okay.
So you love completing projects or you love starting projects when researching something to buy online? Depends on what I'm buying. So you're good
at looking at her phone.
What?
Nothing.
You're good at scheduling, quantifying, and contingency planning. Or you file ideas away in your mind to be developed later, and you like to figure out how things work. Invent. Which slide are you on?
I'm still on that the one you just wrote.
Oh, the event planning one?
Yeah.
What do you think, Hannah? What are you? What speaks to your mind?
Okay.
Okay.
You like identifying how things are different and logically classify them. You want to be in control. You don't like people trying to influence you or manage you too much, especially if your goal might interfere with your goal. Especially if you think it might interfere with your goal.
Did you move on?
Yes.
Okay. You're passionate about knowledge for its own sake. Accuracy is important, and it doesn't matter where an idea came from if it's the best one. The best ideas are efficient and immediately useful. Information should be objective, orderly, and rational.
Oh shit, that's gonna be on my screen record.
Is it a dirty picture?
No, it's a text message from my...
Are you sexting over there while you're doing
No!
this personality quiz? Multitasker.
No, he texted me, are you still recording? And I'm like, shit. Okay. You are excited by following all the steps on the winding path leading to the conclusion. Meaning is more important than pure facts. And you want to understand what's going on behind the scene.
You filter a situation through your own internal values to see how it makes you feel. You have a very personal or gut-based system of ethics that can be hard to explain to others. Values are objective and shared. You look to social norms and expectations, like etiquette, for morality.
Authenticity and sincerity are important to you, and you distrust when others seem fake or insincere, even though more important to you as that you self are sincere. You hold your personal feelings close to your chest unless it feels safe to share them.
That one was easy.
Yeah, as I was reading that, I was all like, oh shit, yeah.
If that's not my sister, do it, D. You ready?
Yep.
You generally don't need or want external emotional support for your feelings, and outward displays of emotion or vulnerability from a group can make you uncomfortable. You try to maintain group harmony by negotiating conflicting views and finding commonalities.
You interpret situations more by how you feel about them emotionally or intuitively than by the objective facts that are visible to everyone. You pay attention to the moral implications of actions, and you're more concerned with how things should be than how they are.
You're in tune with other people's emotions and you actively try to fulfill their needs. You're in tune with how things make you feel and you're focused on self-expression and sharing your emotions through experiences or art. That one was also easy.
You pay attention to what's going on around you in the physical world right now and more perceptive than most people with your five senses. You vividly compare and contrast your current situation with what you experienced in the past or with what you consider to be normal.
I like the example because it's like, I am very aware of my surroundings on a hike. Why? Because I am a girl. Radar's out in public 24/7. Did you get it?
Yep.
You objectively see what's there in the world around you without applying judgment, personal bias, or seeing hidden meanings. You can often see multiple sides of an issue. You subjectively filter new information through your previous knowledge and experiences. Historical context is important, not only your own personal past, but also traditions, procedures, and laws.
You're observant and you concentrate things happening around you. Sights, smells, styles, trends, and what people around you are doing, including their nonverbal cues that others often miss. You like to remember and preserve the past, and you favor the tried and true. You cherish things are routine and familiar, and new things can take a while to grow on you. That was easy.
You love the physical world, whether it's admiring beauty or experiencing new sensations. You might be a thrill seeker, fashion guru, or first responder. You're very in tune with your internal bodily sensations like pain, hunger, and thirst.
You take in new information and carefully compare it to your own past behavior and experiences while minding your routines. There's a precision to your life and you notice inconsistencies and details. Rules and precedents exist for a reason. You tend to live in the moment. You might be impulsive sometimes and you might need a push from the outside world to take action on something you've been meaning to do but putting off. You'd rather focus on immediate needs rather than the rules of obligation.
You ready?
Yes.
You focus on a few good ideas and exclude other ones to avoid distraction. You're indecisive. You love brainstorming, and you juggle a lot of thoughts in your mind all at once.
I read it before you did, and I was all like, and this is me.
Okay.
You take in new facts from the outside world and connect the dots in imaginative or in motivated ways to create new ideas and learning opportunities. You focus on your goals or dreams and look inward for ideas to make that future happen.
Your world is an explosion of ideas, consciously deconstructing things into their component parts, seeing symbolism and drawing connections that others miss. It feels more like your brain is doing the processing unconsciously, and you tend to suddenly react aha moments that make you want to take action. Hannah's being indecisive. She cannot decide.
Well, no, because I was all like, okay. Actually, no, because I'll be writing something, and then all of a sudden another thing will, and then indecisive. You dive deeper into fewer subjects and combine pieces of information to build towards a single cohesive idea. Fuck no. You have a variety of object hobbies. So sorry. And you like bouncing from subject to subject and focus on exploring. Okay, hold on. You have a variety of hobbies and you like bouncing from one subject to subject. You focus on exploring possibilities. You ready?
Yeah. You like making a choice so you can get to work. You see situations from many perspectives and pay attention to how your internal world is impacted. Or you're open-minded and bored by routine. You hate situations that lack exciting mental inspiration.
I don't know if you have the same 4 questions as I do.
How do you direct your energy outward into the world? Towards other people in unity. It's less about making sure everything operates effectively and more that you genuinely feel deep empathy for people and unsettled if you know someone feels excluded or unheard. And toward other people in unity, toward a result and accomplishment. It's not that you're a cold person, but that it's important that you achieve outcomes. What do you focus on within yourself? What feels authentic and aligned to your individual values? This isn't a logical analysis of what makes sense. Rather, what feels right to you? What seems most logical and rational to you? You feel things too, but you prioritize analytical thinking that feels more precise. What do you most love exploring? Abstract ideas? Physical sensations? What do you tend to pay most attention to? What's really at play behind the scenes? Or best practices? I know.
type of families? Oh, yes.
You finished off.
4 main cognitive functions. Now to approach this from a different point of view. Let's find your type family. There are 4 type families containing 4 types with several key shared characteristics. Select one if it's clearly you, or you can pick 2 if you're not sure. None of them or all of them feel right. You can leave them blank and move on.
Traditionalist, order, details, stability, experiencer, physicality, carpe diem, the idealist, people, feelings, values, conceptualizer, big picture, objective. Weaknesses.
What is your biggest weakness? Think of yourself at your worst, or when you're feeling stressed, what do you do to struggle with it? Since this might be difficult, you can select up to 3 that seem accurate. If none of them or all of them seem right, you can leave them blank and move on.
Hypersensitive and distrustful of feelings, unconfident and vicious, depressed and unmotivated, paranoid and mystical, sensitive and lonely, self-critical and judgmental, obsessed and self-indulgent, reckless and fearful. Last section.
Just to round out your results with a little more data, here's a short, more traditional personality test where you pick broader dimensions instead of more specific cognitive functions.
Imagine that you just got home from a long day at work and you're feeling low on energy. What's usually the best way to get you re-energized? Go out and be around people? Sure, some alone time can be nice now and then, but you're literally energized by people. Get some alone time.
Which way of making decisions come most naturally to you? You probably use both of these methods, but which one is your go-to first and feel is most important to your personality? Lay out the pros and cons and work out what's most logical, but this doesn't mean that you're a robot about your feelings. Check how your gut feels, choose what best aligns to your personal values, but this doesn't mean that you're illogic or overly emotional.
Imagine you're walking around outside. Where does your attention tend to be focused? On the future or the abstract? You're focused inside your head on ideas or possibilities, however impractical. On the present or past? You're focused on what's real, practical, and actually happening in reality.
Compared to other people you know, which one sounds more like you? You're a decisive decision maker who sets specific goals and follows a plan. You're an indecisive overanalyzer who leaves options open to adopt along the way.
I feel called out. Examples. Your desk is covered in sticky notes. Well, yeah, that's my to-do list. You're all done. You're most likely one of these three types: ISFJ, INFP, INFJ.
You're more likely one of these three types: INTP, ENTP, ISTP.
Okay. 67 points for the ISFJ, which is the nurturer, defender, and protector. Huh. Yeah. Greatest strengths: compassionate, down to earth, empathetic, devoted to serving others. Yes, thorough, excellent memory. Greatest weaknesses: too dependent on external validation and appreciation. Passive. Conflict avoidance, risk adverse, hard to find a job that supports them financially. Wow. Thanks. Yeah, ISFJ type families: traditionalists. Primary cognitive function: introverted sensing. Yeah. Auxiliary cognitive function is extroverted feelings. Yep. Tertiary cognitive function: introverted thinking. And inferior cognitive function is extroverted intuition. So, yeah. I can't decide. Examples: Kate Middleton is this Beyonce. Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. That's hilarious.
Okay. NINTP. The thinker, logician, architect. Greatest strength: amazing thinker, powerful logical analyst, innovative ideas, can thoroughly solve complex problems. Greatest weakness: perfectionist, obsessive over details, too focused on being correct, indecisive, struggles with emotions and relationships. Example people: Bill Gates, Albert Einstein,
Go ahead.
Elliot Page, Lord So, and
Who?
Lord Valeries?
Lord Varys from Game of Thrones. Oh my goodness. I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but let's just unpack that one for a minute. So Lord Varys is this eunuch. So he doesn't have balls because he got them chopped off. And he is he plays the game through the mind.
Yeah.
He never picks up a sword. And I don't remember when he dies. I am currently rewatching Game of Thrones. I'm only just started season 4. But yeah, Lord Varys is still alive. So halfway through this show, and to still be alive is pretty impressive.
The fact that it's internal conflict. You often struggle with the following: me and sigh. Under stress, makes you feel hypertensive, unloving, much more emotional than usual, and obsessed with proving you're right. I get the obsessed with proving I'm right from my father. 'Cause I'm hardly ever wrong.
Me too.
Overcoming resistance, you reinforce your weakness of FE by practicing your NE. ENTP. So INTP, I got 70 points. ENTP, I got 70 points. So these were like tied.
Ooh.
Visionary, debater, inventor. Oh my gosh, I am getting called out.
You are getting called out. I mean, we both got called out, but this is so funny.
Greatest strength, constant, big, new ideas, can argue any perspective, quick thinking, quick learning, highly open-minded, curious, innovative. Greatest weakness. Why are we doing this?
Not again.
Anyways, greatest weakness. Easily bored. Trouble actually finishing anything. Hate burdency and logistics. Can debate too hard. Deprioritize feelings.
Hannah feels called out.
I feel called out. I feel like this is more me than the first one.
Well, I don't know. The first one's pretty you, too.
Both of them are pretty me. But also, I always have big new ideas. I mean, I have like 7 stories I haven't finished writing. I can argue any thingies. Example of people: Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, Tryon Lancaster.
Let me see. Another Game of Thrones reference. Okay, Tyrion is the best ever. So, yes, Tyrion Lannister. He's the dwarf that drinks and knows things.
Yeah.
And he's just the best fucking character in Game of Thrones. And he lives fairly long. I don't actually think he dies. He makes it to season 8.
Have you read the books?
I have not. I don't even think the series is done yet. Okay. My second one. So my first one, the ISFJ, was 67 points, and then 65 points INFP, the idealist, mediator, and healer. Greatest strengths: idealistic, creative, supportive, out-of-the-box thinker, passionate about personal values, emotions, and living in alignment. Greatest weakness: troubles with conflict and setting boundaries, yes. Self-critical, yes, and a perfectionistic. Can get stuck in the depths of their feelings. Yeah. People. Oh my goodness. Okay, example of people: Johnny Depp. A.A. Milne, the creator of Winnie the Pooh. Bjork, who I don't know who that is. And Frodo Baggins. Why did I get all the Lord of the Rings characters and you got Game of Thrones? Like, you don't even know what Game of Thrones is.
I know what Game of Thrones is. I just didn't watch it.
You should watch it.
Oh, I do. I love the... So my second one... Just find it interesting.
That was pretty cool.
I love how under stress you withdraw and feel depressed, unmotivated, nostalgic, or like everything needs to be cleaned or reorganized. Oh, I'm just kidding. Getting called out. It's fine. ISTP with 64 points. The mechanic, versatile crafter. Greatest strength: fixes problems and master skills. Combines analytical logic and practicality. Greatest weakness: too independent. and being unsure of themselves, isolating and disregarding others.
Oh my goodness.
Acts recklessly, trouble committing. Oh.
That's so you. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love how I have like 4 examples.
I keep getting a lot of perfectionistic ones. Like my third, INFJ, the protector.
Mm-hmm.
Intuitive, creative, insightful, expert on people, natural counselor. Am I a natural counselor?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And then greatest weakness is perfectionistic. Sensitive. Thick walls that make them hard to get to know. Yeah. I've got hard walls up. Trouble saying no. Yep, I have trouble saying no. People like that. I finally got my Game of Thrones person. Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You don't understand the reference because you haven't watched it.
I love how, like, my 4th one. So, like, my top 3 are ENTP, ISTP, INTP, ENTP, ISTP. My 4th one was 64 points. ENFP, the Inspirer, Campaigner, Champion. And honestly, I feel like the top 3 are more of me.
Mm-hmm. I think this was wild.
All of them are under the family. In the conceptualizers. Focus on the big picture and objective thinking motivated by curiosity and understanding.
Wow. That's super fun.
Primary cognitive function, introverted thinking.
Mine is introverted sensing. Subjective memory, often including rich sensory details and nostalgia. Routine and stability. Yep, I love my routine. Personal experience, internal bodily awareness, preserving order, history and tradition, careful planning.
That was my tertiary cognitive function.
Mine's introverted thinking. A blunt honesty. Am I bluntly honest? Yeah, introverted sensing. My auxiliary cognitive one is extroverted feeling.
Inferior cognitive function, extroverted feeling.
Mine's extroverted intuition. So, possibilities, exploring, seeing patterns, learning through experiments, optimistic, open-mindedness, and brainstorming.
That's my auxiliary cognitive function.
Oh. The auxiliary this function is conscious. It should feel very familiar, but you might struggle with it sometimes. And then the inferior, this function is unconscious. Think of it as your main weakness, but it is still a part of you, so it should feel familiar. Overcoming weaknesses. Reinforce your weakness of introverted intuition by practicing your extroverted intuition by practicing your extroverted feelings.
That sounds like reinforce your weakness of extroverted feelings by practicing your extroverted intuition.
We're like the complete opposite there. Like, work on this extroverted thing. Under stress, your extroverted intuition makes you start to imagine catastrophe around every corner, and you become anxious, intolerant, and reckless. Yes, that is exactly me. 100%. Like the puppy in the car. I know she's not going to jump out of the car.
My extroverted feelings. Under stress, your extroverted feelings makes you feel hypersensitive, unlovable, much more emotional than usual, and obsessed with proving you're right.
Wow. This thing is just calling us out here.
Yeah.
Internal conflict. You often struggle between following FE is extroverted feelings and introverted thinking.
My internal conflict. You often struggle between the following: extroverted intuition and introverted sensing.
Wow.
Wow.
So, I've been called out.
I've been called out too, and I'm not sure if I like it.
Why couldn't we just not? Man, our listener who recommended this, what did you do? Jeez. Yeah, that was fun though.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm not sure I learned anything. Well, I learned something new. But I also got called the shit out by all my feelings. This is remarkably accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those are our personalities. That was fun.
That was fun.
All right. Well, I think that's a good episode. Episode 4. As always, follow us on
Instagram.
all the socials.
All the socials.
Instead of X, though, I do Blue Sky.
Oh. Yeah.
So.
I completely forgot that Twitter is called. Oh, there's a so sorry. But talking about Twitter reminded me of, there's a documentary called Breaking the Bird on Discovery Plus. And it's about the rise and fall of Twitter.
All right, and with that, we leave you with your thoughts. We'll link to the quiz that we took
Down
so
below.
you can take it for yourself and join in on the conversation on what your personality is. And I would be curious to see if you also got called the fuck out like we did.
Yeah.
All right, until next time.
Until next time.